morning.
Good morning.
It is Easter. Easter. Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter. We're not going to be here long, but happy Easter. Hi, Muggsy. Hi, Habanero. Sassy Susie speaks. Good morning. Bree, good morning. Muddy, good morning. Tracy, Snuggle Bunny. Snuggle, I'm glad you sent me that because I couldn't find it. And that's what I was talking about. So I just reposted it on my YouTube. Thank you for sending me that. Debbie, guess what I've
Yay.
been doing?
Huh?
I stuffed my bell peppers last night. Um,
Okay.
Yep, with
Mhm.
shrimp and lobster meat. I stuffed them last night with ground beef. And then this morning I got up and I put them in the oven. And oh my God, it smells so good. So then I just put the water to boil for my macaroni so I can do my baked macaroni and stuff. And then I'm doing boiled corn. And my mom is telling me, oh, that sounds good. So my sister gets on the phone and she's telling me what they're having. I'm like, I want a plate.
Ah,
I want a plate. They're having ham, and it's just me. I can't cook a whole ham, but I think what I'm
yes,
going
you
to do,
can.
I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get me a ham on the next thing, and I'm going to have them cut it in quarters because I like a certain ham. I like a Gwaltney ham, or I like a
Oh,
Smithfield ham. I
I,
don't like
I
those
get what
honey
you're
hams. I don't
saying.
like the spiral ham. I don't like any of that.
Okay, but you can. I had a ham for myself for Christmas. Um, at Costco, they sell the small ends.
I know. I saw those. I bought those when I had to do a ham for our Christmas luncheon last year. I bought
Yeah.
one and I did it and I brought it to work and I had the clothes and stuff. So yeah, I can do that. But I like for myself a Gwaltney or a Smithfield ham. I have a particular ham that I like. Hi, Chantel. Happy Easter.
Hmm.
So
You
it's
know,
like,
I think Walmart used to carry the small Smithfield in
well,
ham.
I'll go to Walmart and check it out because I
Yeah,
know
but you
I
would
have
have
to,
to go this week
yeah, I
because
have to
they
go
only
visit.
do those small bits.
I don't have to go visit. A couple of people that I know invited me to come uh, for cocktails and stuff, and I'm going to eat first before I leave here. That way, I don't have to. I can be honest when I say I'm stuffed because I don't eat everybody's cooking. I'll go over, have some cocktails, laugh, play a few games, and then bring my ass back here. So I'm not. I don't eat everybody's food. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Especially when they got animals running around the house. I don't want to see no hair in my food. Oh, I cut my roast beef in cubes last night. Gonna make a stew. Why are you making a stew? I thought you were gonna do, girl. I almost bought a prime rib. They were so damn pretty, and they were like 80 something dollars. I'm like, oh, it's just me. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't because I don't like to waste food. Hi, Aries. Good morning. So, what are you having for dinner, Debbie?
I'm gonna do that Korean beef thing. I'm
Korean
gonna try
barbecue?
that. Huh?
Korean barbecue with noodles? No,
No, it's Korean beef with rice.
with rice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I was listening to mass on YouTube at the Vatican.
Hmm.
Um, it is packed out there.
Yeah.
It is packed. I was listening to that. Um, but I was like, okay, I don't need to put girl. I think Easter and Christmas were my favorite times to go to church. Now, when I was younger, we went to church all the time. Okay, I was an altar girl. When I got older, when I was in Texas, I went to church maybe once, twice a month, but I was always there. And here's the way I see it: if I haven't been to church in about a month or 2 months, I'm not going to show up for Easter. But you used to see everybody showing up for Easter and Christmas. They got their big old, and this is a Catholic church. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't seen them all year. Where they come from? Last time I saw them was Christmas Eve Mass. Wait a minute. They're here for Easter. And I just sit back and be clocking people going, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Show up in your what is it? In your Easter vest. Don't see them all year. Hair flopping. And I used to like to go to if I was down with my aunt, if I went to visit during a holiday like Easter, I would go to church with my aunt, but I wouldn't stay for 3.5 hours because they're Baptist. And I'd just be cracking up at these hats coming in this church. I would sit to the back because I forgot her position in the church, but she would sit up front. I would always sit to the back so I can watch everybody coming in. I'd be like, uh-huh, okay, uh-huh. Look at this hat. Shoes going to the side because they bought them cheap shoes and the heels are barely holding up. Girl, I used to be laughing. Yes, I did that when I would go into a Baptist church. I would sit there and watch. Debbie, Lord, I done lost Debbie.
No, you didn't. I had my cell phone on mute because I was multitasking. I was opening up mail from this week. Um, I My
Turkey,
family
ham,
really
mashed
didn't go to
potatoes for us.
church. Yeah, my family really didn't go to church,
Oh,
but
girl,
in
I'm
my mother's
Catholic.
later years, I did find Anglican services for her to watch so that she can listen to the music. She really did enjoy listening to the music.
Girl, I
Mhm.
grew up in a Catholic household. My mother graduated from Catholic school, her brothers, her sisters, and if it went to the 12th grade, well, minus the fact we moved to Houston, I would have graduated from Catholic school. Okay. Um,
Mhm.
we went to church every Friday. And then during Lent season, we're in church 3 times a week doing the Stations of the Cross. Okay. Uh, I wouldn't even have to look at a book because you can recite it because nothing ever changes. So
Mhm.
I'm telling you, we were in church all the time. And if my mother didn't go to church with us on Saturday, because either my brother was an altar boy or I was an altar girl, and if she didn't go on Saturday, she went on Sundays. We were back in church on Sunday. And I'm like, I felt like I forgot that comedian's name. Mama, this is too much damn church. If I'm going to hell, just let me go. That's the way I used to think. Jesus. At least we weren't Baptist. I went uh to my what is it? Grandson's when they were presenting him to the church, and his mother is non-denominational, but it was basically it was the church with no walls or something in Houston. Girl, after
Mhm.
2.5 hours, I was sitting there looking at my watch and pointing to it and showing the pastor. And then when after about 4 hours, we came out and he asked me, he says, "Oh, it was so nice seeing you. I hope to see you again." I said, "Are you preaching?" He said, "Yes." I said, "No, I won't be here." And I walked
Uh-uh.
off and got in my car. What the
No.
hell you sitting in church for 4 hours? And then I thought the Catholic Church was bad passing the collection plate. Speaking of which, I
Mhm.
should could you pass the plates? But I thought the Catholic Church was bad. Jesus. I was outside like 3 times. Seriously, I kept walking out. I kept going out smoking. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
They
I
had to make sure they get from everybody.
I wasn't coming back, and I meant what I said. I bet that man never saw me again, except for when I called him one time and cursed him out, but he didn't see me. But anyway,
Mm.
yeah, I hope to see you back again. Are you preaching? He said. I said, no, I won't be back. And I walked off, and her father was a deacon in the church.
Okay, so Heidi, while you've been talking about that, I've been doing some recon in the chat. So we have a traditional Sunday lunch from someone, we have a non-traditional, and then we've got Snuggle Bunny's daughter who's firing up the grill to do barbecue chicken.
Oh my
So
God.
you've got a lot of selections here. You've even got stew up in Canada.
Yes, she's got
So
stew.
yes.
Easter, I know we used to do ham. Um,
Mm-hmm.
New Year's, we would do the ham, the black eyed peas, the cabbage, new beginnings.
Mhm.
Christmas was always either turkey or ham or both. And then we started doing like prime rib at Christmas, because shit, we just had turkey at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
My brother would do a smoked turkey, a deep fried turkey, and then we would do a traditional turkey. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you, when I say there is nothing left, because it's two families together plus all the friends are coming, there is nothing left.
Mm.
Nothing. And then for Christmas and Thanksgiving, normally Christmas, I would do the big pot of gumbo. My brother would always call. And I'm like, do you know how much money this seafood is going to cost me? Well, sister, uh, I don't, but I said, do you know how much seafood is? I said, I got you. But I always knew it was coming. Sister, can you do the gumbo? Sister, can you do the potato salad? I'm like, well, why don't I just cook the whole damn meal and be done with it? I did.
Mm.
We would, one year we had Thanksgiving at my house. I cooked everything. I did duck, I did turkey, and I think I did ribs. Well, I know that TC did ribs on the grill. I did the homemade big old things of mac and cheese. I did dirty rice. I cooked up a storm. And do you know, when everybody was eating, I was not eating because I wasn't hungry. I done tasted everything. Hi,
Mhm.
Fault. Hi, Selfie Queen Cindy. Happy birthday. It's Easter too, girl. Happy birthday, and it's Easter. Hi,
It's
Greenbelt
my
Pepper.
sister-in-law's birthday too. It's so much fun. It falls on Easter.
No, it's not her birthday. That's our running joke. Hi,
Oh, well,
Eric.
no, it is my sister-in-law's real birthday today too.
Right. And today is 420 for all of you weed smokers. It's
Mhm.
420. You get
Oh,
on, you
I
find a
think I know who you're going by.
man.
Green Bell Pepper is doing T-bone steaks,
Oh my
crab.
God.
Oh, they do crab legs for Christmas. They're your people.
Oh my God, green bell pepper.
Hmm.
T-bone steaks today. We usually do crab legs for Christmas. We
Yeah.
switch it up every once in a while. We always do turkey. Yep, that's like a staple. Turkey on
Hmm.
Thanksgiving. I remember one year I wanted Chinese food. Y'all stop laughing. Okay? I wanted Chinese food. I did.
Mm.
I got you, Selfie Queen Cindy. I got you. The hi Colleen with the K. Happy Easter to everybody. Happy Easter. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to come live or not because it was Easter, but Debbie said, "Well, let's just do it." And then I got to send my little man. I need to hook my account up to my Cash App so I can send my little man some money because he ate his salad last night. Gwen told me he ate his salad, so I got to send him some money to get a toy.
Hmm.
Yep, it's 420. I realized that this morning.
Baked
Oh,
rigatoni.
Chantel, I just found
Mm.
trailer trash. Oh my God, I just found trailer trash. It just popped up when I went into YouTube. But I was listening to
Mm.
YouTube last night. I was
Hmm.
not I was listening to Nicole. Now I've been following this whole WTF and boss lady scenario. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what the fuck I don't like. Okay. She has called herself an escort. Which they did put out pictures, which was on a public site. But then you call this woman's children and you're up there bragging about hitting the jackpot. I don't like that cockeyed little bitch with all that cake makeup on. And that's WTF. I don't like her at all. I never liked her when she hit TikTok. Once I saw her in Lisa's live stream, and Lisa, as she's having talking to Lisa, and Lisa said, "Well, she came to me and she's pulling subs from Lisa for her satire, and then she's made a wish list for people to send her wigs and stuff off her Amazon wish list to do the satires." I said, "Bitch, you're like everybody else." Then I heard about Tech, who was getting money on the back end. So I think I'm going to do a TikTok recap this week. These people are fucking disgusting. There are no awareness. They're all out here for them damn selves. I don't like WTF. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't like her. I don't like Boss Lady, but I don't like WTF. And the fact that if it's true, she made a mistake and recorded herself making a date with a John that came to her home, bitch, you got problems. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Easter. Sorry. My oldest daughter's birthday is April 23rd. The youngest is April 4th. And happy birthday to your youngest, belated birthday. Happy birthday to your daughter on the 23rd. And happy birthday to your grandson on the 24th. Hi, Jesus. Good morning. Oh my God, I miss hiding Easter eggs. I miss dyeing eggs. I really miss doing all of that. When I moved here, the first year I was here, my grandson was still in Houston. My friend does stuff something creations is her business. I think I showed you guys the picture of the big Easter bunny, it was the plastic, and then she had it stuffed with candy and stuff. I had her do that for my grandson for Easter, and I had his mother to pick it up because I wasn't there. So I love doing Easter stuff. Easter egg hunts. You put money in the little thing, or you put dollars, or you put candy. Oh my God, that was so much fun. And my grandfather used to do that for us. And shit, he can hide some eggs. And we had real eggs to find, not the plastic eggs, the real eggs, because my grandmother, my aunts, they were all in the kitchen, and they'd be dyeing eggs for all of us. Got to think, my grandmother had 10 kids. So I think when she died, she had 30 something no, 38 grandkids. I forgot how many great grandchildren and great great grandchildren she had when she passed. But we have a huge family. And then when my dad's side comes, oh, Jesus. So Nookie is on his TikTok, has proof. Okay. I definitely want to go look at Nookie's TikTok. Oh my God. But I know that people were upset that Reaper is playing Nookie's Lisa content, and Nookie made a point. He said it's not his content. He's just it's hers, but he records it and put it up. So that's true. That's true. Holidays is so different when your parents are gone. Well, my parents are still here, but I'm not there. But I talked to my mommy this morning, and I talked to my sister. Haven't talked to my dad yet because he's been getting up late. He used to be up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning cutting grass, but now he doesn't have a yard to cut. And I used to fuss at him. Hire somebody to cut that damn grass. I'll get somebody to do it. Baby, it's good exercise. I'm like, it's too damn hot in New Orleans to be cut. That's why I cut it at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what he used to say. But now he doesn't cut grass and stuff anymore. So, and he would cut his grass and then go up and down the street and he would cut his neighbor's grass too, just to have something to do. So I will call him around 10:30. I'm going to give my dad a call. He should be up and moving about. But Debbie, did you talk to your brother today?
No, not yet. It's still a little early. I'll call them around noon. Well, afternoon.
Okay. All
Afternoon.
right. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning. Okay, Debbie, let's roll with it.
Mhm.
Oh my God. So where do you want to go first? You want to talk about you want to talk about the 1,000 pound £1,000 sisters?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can talk about them.
Okay, let's go with 1,000 pound sisters.
Uh, okay, so this was season 7 premiere.
Mm-hmm. Season 7,
Um,
episode 1.
honestly,
I think when that damn camel bit her arm, that was the funniest thing I saw in I mean, girl.
I'm surprised that they had footage of that. I really am. Um, but
But were
yeah,
they filming for the show to begin with? Because but the cameras,
they were. They were filming like for their personal thing. I think this whole thing got caught up because she got arrested. And I am wondering if they're going to sugarcoat her arrest by calling this man a news reporter.
Wait a minute. When she said he was a news reporter, I said, where?
Exactly.
Is he on the
Exactly. And what's
internet
a
and
50-year
reporting
old
the
man
news?
doing interested in her? That's a news reporter. Like, 15 minutes into this episode, and my patience was done. It really was. Because Tammy has reverted back to the mean old crotchety bitch that she
She's
used to
never
be.
changed. She's
She's
never
never
freaking
changed,
changed.
no. But they're she's coming out and they're not covering it up. Amy is very
Hold on. What
irrational.
do you mean she's coming out? She's been saying she was
No,
pansexual.
no, no, not her sexuality. The old person
Oh
that
yeah, the
that
old
she was,
personality is back again. The evil, nasty.
right.
Yeah.
And this made, like, I didn't like watching it when she was like this when she was big. I didn't like watching her. I
I don't like
didn't.
watching Tammy at all. I like when she and Amy were having fun and they were filming their YouTube stuff, but I don't like her personality at all. I like nothing about her.
I
Nothing.
don't like her and Amy together when they're getting along, when they're not. I don't like them. I don't. They are not likable individuals. What they put on our screen is unintelligent, ignorant hogwash. It really is. What are we doing? Looking at Tammy squatting on her family, looking at Amy going from one bad relationship into another, making more bad decisions, and her dirty house. We looking at Chris trying as well as much as he can to take advantage of everything that this show is offering, from money to opportunity to surgeries, and trying to play peacemaker so he could keep the money rolling. Amanda's coming back. I know they said she lost 30 pounds.
She
Okay.
looks good.
She
Um,
looks good, but she's living with Amy. And believe it or not, she's Amy's babysitter. And
that's what
believe it
she
or
is.
not, Amy isn't even grateful for somebody trying to put some home training into her two children.
Do you see how nasty that house is?
Girl, don't get me started.
Did you
And
see
the
the
little boy
walls?
that had the wet pants, and he was up in the bed with Amanda, and I'm like, oh my God.
Those boys should be potty trained by now. They
Well,
should be potty
I guess
trained.
that's
There's a
Amanda's
bed in the
job.
dining room.
I guess that's Amanda's job. I don't know. Like, I don't see any progression with anybody on this show with the exception of Chris and Misty.
I was about to say Chris. Yes.
Chris has made progression in his health, in his weight, in his lifestyle, um, and in his finances. He's done. He's bought property. He isn't even a main character on this. He is a side character, and he has bought property. Amy and Tammy have been on this show from the beginning. Even before that, they were on two other shows, and yet they are still squatters. Well, no, Amy bought her house. Sorry, I take that back. Amy bought her house, had two children.
Exactly, Michelle. Their
Tammy
feet
is
are
the main
always dirty.
character,
Hi,
and she is
Kathy.
still a squatter.
Yep. But she's got an attitude with Brittany, and I don't like the fact that Chris is going to tell his wife to get in the back seat because Tammy said she can't get in there. Fuck Tammy. Did you see Britt's look on her face, girl?
Chris is wrong for how he
He's
treats his
wrong.
wife at times. But
Completely wrong.
again, he's still trying to milk the financial cow that this show is, because he's the only one that's doing anything sensible with the time he's spending away from McDonald's
Yeah.
on this show.
But here's the problem. When Tammy said she couldn't get in the back seat. Tammy gets
She's
an
been
Uber.
in the
She
back
gets her fat
seat.
ass in the back seat then.
Exactly. Why are you again? Chris, wake up. Chris, wake up. Because not that many women out there want you. You're a nice person and everything, but not that many women want you. And you know why? Because of your family. You got a good woman with Brittany. This is your second marriage. Like, don't treat Brittany like that. And Brittany was right when she said, can Amy see her boyfriend?
That was funny. That was funny. That was funny.
Brittany be quiet, but when she opened that mouth, she says a lot.
But you know, and I like that they went, girl, I would have jumped in that water. Did you see the color of that water? I'm not getting in
I
there.
I don't go into lakes or ponds and barely any swimming pools. I only bathe in the ocean.
And girl, I can't get in there, but her whole attitude, you knew you were going to the water park. You knew you were going to the lake. You could have stayed your ass home. And then when when Amy said, you know, that she's always out and about and exercising, but wait a minute, I took a picture of that shirt that Amy had on, or that dress that she had on with all those stains. It was so disgusting.
But
Hold on. Let me just show
while you
you.
find that, here's what
I
really
have it.
irritated
I'm
me
not
with the
finding it.
show. Okay,
Huh?
here's what really irritated me with the show. Tammy
Okay, go
sat there
ahead.
and said, I did so much hard work to lose this weight so that I wouldn't have to sit back and watch my family, oh my God, go and do activities without me. They take her to an activity and she sits there and she doesn't want to participate. So it flashed back to when they went to the rental in Tennessee and she refused to get out of the car. Same shit, different season.
Yep.
I'm not putting up with it.
But I'm happy they went to eat and left her ass in the car
That's
as
what
she's
she's going to
sitting
be
there
because she's going
pouting.
to sit in there and talk with the girlfriend. That's my opinion.
Jesus Christ. But did you see the pizza that Amanda ordered and she's bragging about her weight loss?
Well, Chris says she keep on eating pizzas that look like hubcaps. She gonna gain that 30 pounds back lickety split.
Girl, but I think it might be a good season. But now we know that Amy is seeing some woman. But again, we knew that. But the thing
Hmm.
is, the doctor told her they're not going to remove her skin because of her vaping. She's at the lake and she goes, I just want to go vape. Take your ass on. Take your bow legs on. Walk down that dock and hope it don't fall and go vape. She gets on my nerves. I can't stand her.
I
I
don't
can't.
understand what it is that TLC sees in her.
Is she paying Chris any rent?
Probably not. She probably said, "I got you on the show, bitch."
But the way she talks to Brett or looks at Brett, girl, I wouldn't have her in my house. My husband's sister or not, you wouldn't be around me.
Nope.
You would not be around me because you have a funky ass attitude and I don't like it. She has no
Again,
respect. And for him to wait until, and then he's going, girl, it was funny. Chris, could you help me with this bag? Is right. Chris, I got the cooler. He's going between two houses.
mm-hmm. Misty has some good points in there about how they behave with each other and tolerance levels. Um, they're all anticipating Amanda and Amy to blow up because they're actually living in the same house. But I wouldn't be surprised if more friction comes about between Tammy and Chris and Brittany, even though they're not in the same house, but they're next door. And when Brittany said, "I be seeing people coming up in your house all the time,"
Yep.
Tammy didn't like that.
Nope, she didn't. But you know what I like though? Did you see Amanda's bed?
Yeah, the
I like that
vibrating
bed.
bed.
Yes.
Mm. What? Why is it vibrating?
I don't know, but she said that she left everything else. She wasn't going to leave that. I told you I see her on TikTok all the time, and she's lost a lot more weight. And the guy she's with again is black.
But
She's got a
she's got
new.
serious health problems, though. something with her heart, and they can't figure out why, like it speeds up or it slows down. Something's wrong with her heart, and she's been in and out of the emergency room with it, and her blood pressure drops, but her heart rate accelerates, something like that. Does anybody look at her online?
I see her,
Um,
but she never really. When I see her, she's always either braiding the guy's hair, or she's talking, and she's playing music because she likes R&B. Baby, she loves
okay.
R&B.
Snuggle Bunny says that she's been to that drive-through zoo hundreds of times, and I don't understand how that camel bit her
I
unless
told you
he put it in his mouth.
he smelled the weed. He got
That's
high.
interesting.
Let's not forget, she was arrested even after, when a camel bit her. She was
Mhm.
arrested. She had oh my God, what was it? She had
Oh,
one let me see, she had child neglect.
she was admitted. Thank you, Mari Mari. But
She had
Snuggle Bunny, I have a question for you. At that zoo, do they tell you to feed the animals with the bucket outside your car or inside your car?
outside. It should be outside.
Right. So what? How is the animal coming into like they always have their buckets inside the car? Which why would you want all that food and
Yeah,
saliva
and
in
I
your
wouldn't
car?
have my kids' windows rolled all the way down like that either. Because you don't know what an animal is going to do. I'm sorry. I would have the window cracked a little bit. I mean, the kids can see it. I wouldn't have the animals inside, putting their head inside inside my vehicle, and I have small kids like that.
She's a nightmare to live with. Wendy's front yard, yes. I agree with you. Amanda is bossy, but
Oh, the
Amy
mushrooms.
needs it.
Yes.
Forget the weed. Yeah, they had shrooms in the car too. I think the initial search was because they smelled the Mary Jane.
Yeah, from the
But then they
newscaster
found other
Brian.
stuff.
Yeah, because the newscaster Brian. So when are they going to introduce Brian to the show? Since that's all they're talking about.
Well, they ended off with Amy saying that she's gonna get her tubes
Yeah, she wants
untied
to get
and
her
she's
tubes
having a
untied.
baby. And did you notice? They said, "Oh, 6 months, 1 month, 2 weeks." How long has she known the news reporter?
2 months, 6 weeks.
2 months. 6 weeks. Okay, so even you're doing it because 2 months is 8 weeks. Now we're going down to 6 weeks. I am gonna go with 4 weeks. 1 month she's known
Amanda
this.
said she's known it's been like 6 weeks, she said.
Mm. Oh
And
my
she's
god.
already, she goes, she said it's not even 6 months. She needs to get
Mm,
her damn head examined.
mm.
I think she just wants a boyfriend.
Heads in your car, but you put the bucket up so that they can eat or drive off. Oh, okay. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be very honest. I don't think I've ever been to a zoo. I think I've been to the penguin thing in
Girl, I love the
Orlando.
zoo.
No,
I love
I
the zoo
don't
in
do activities
DC.
like that.
Okay, the zoo in DC and the zoo in New Orleans, Audubon Zoo in New Orleans. Oh my God, it's the best zoo. Besides, you can get red beans and rice there, and they have margaritas, they have Heineken. You walk through the zoo. I remember when I took my son, we went down for my grandmother's birthday. We went to Audubon Zoo, and I had a Heineken. He was like, "Man, you can't be drinking in here." I said, "Why the hell not? The vendors are all over." He went, "Oh shit, girl, we spent like 7 hours at that zoo today. We were eating red beans and rice. We were eating etouffee, and by the time we got back
Mhm.
to go, we were tuckered out. But then we had to get dressed again because we were going into the French Quarter, so we had to drop his kid, his son off. Girl, Audubon Zoo is the shit in New Orleans. Audubon Zoo is the shit, and then DC Zoo, which is actually in Maryland, that zoo is beautiful. I love the zoo. Well, I like Houston Zoo too. I actually like Houston. Yeah, I like Houston Zoo too. Hi, Sheer Bear. How are you, sweetie? But yeah, so when that camel bit her, but I want to see when are we. But okay, did you see the outside of of Amy's house? All those trash bags. The outside looks just as bad as the inside.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have my kids running around with no shoes on in the grass. Those kids never have shoes.
But she
Well,
had on slippers. She had on slippers, but her children were running around barefoot. Okay.
yep. See, sweet potato. DC Zoo is amazing. Brian and Marcus love the zoo. I used to take them there all the time. And then when Nathan got older, but I love the zoo. I try to stay away from the monkeys because people be pissing them off and they be spitting and throwing shit. You think I'm kidding? They do throw shit at you. And now they have them like behind this big plexiglass that surrounds the whole embankment and stuff. But they used to go just to piss off uh those animals, like the monkeys and the thing. But I love the zoo in Houston, but Audubon Zoo. I think Audubon was number one at one time, and then DC. I went to New York once, but that was a long time ago when I lived in Teaneck. So I couldn't tell you, but I know I used to go to DC, Audubon all the time, and the Houston Zoo.
It's an
Now they
outdoor
say
game
San
for the
Francisco
zoo.
has a nice zoo. I've never went to the zoo in San Francisco. And when I remember talking to my sister, I said the next time we go to San Francisco, we need to go to the zoo. They say San Francisco Zoo is really, really nice.
Oh, Wendy, you wrong for that, but I agree with you.
Yeah, because those kids never. No, she actually bought them shoes. You remember last season,
Mm-hmm.
she and her friend went to the store. They had shoes on, and then she bought
Mm-hmm.
them new shoes. But those kids are outside in that yard with no shoes on. I never let my kids go outside with no shoes on.
But why doesn't she do the yard? Like, what if they run and get stick with something?
Hi, Party Rock.
Get somebody, get a lawn company to come in and mow your backyard. Get rid of all of those weeds that are running wild back there,
Yep, they
so
probably
that
got
your children
stickers.
could run around barefoot.
Yep, probably. Hi, oh, she said the Minneapolis Zoo is nice too. The only thing I wanted to go to Minneapolis for was Prince. Mm,
As a kid, I was saying this in an attractive like that.
that's a
Oh, the
oh
monkeys tore up the roof of your car. Oh,
what?
Jesus. Oh no.
But I'm serious. If you guys ever go down to New Orleans, go to Audubon Zoo. Seriously, go to the zoo. It is huge. The food is not just hot dogs and ham. It is New Orleans all the way, and the food at these food places are off the chain.
Oh, the Berlin Zoo. Damn, y'all
Hi,
going
Kimmy.
international. I don't know. I just don't want to go to zoos.
I don't know. I like the zoo. I like the
Mm-mm.
zoo. I used to take my grandkids to the zoo. I remember one year we had our
Mhm.
company picnic at the zoo, and they had all the people there to make the kids' faces up and stuff. And I had Kayla and Justin there, and we had the best day at the damn zoo.
Snuggle Bunny is killing me.
What she say?
Snuggle Bunny is killing me. She said, I guess, where they grew up, I'm, I don't think they wore their shoes outside. I grew up running around barefoot as well. But if you regularly take a bath, your feet won't look like that. It is so true. It's
Yeah,
so true.
those
I
kids'
ran
feet are
it as
black.
soon
Hi,
as I
Party
got out of
Rod.
school. I was
Happy
barefoot.
Easter.
Oh my God.
The Berlin Zoo has a lot of history on how the animals survived the war and the architecture of oh, it's amazing. Okay.
Oh.
See, that's what I thought. You're supposed to keep your windows closed. But no, the drive-through you because you bought the buckets of food. They bought like 12 buckets of food to feed the animals.
Yeah. I don't know. I
But
need
I
to
want to know what news where does Brian do the news at? That's what I want to know, Debbie. Hold on.
probably on YouTube. Oh, and y'all can't tell me that their town don't have Uber anymore because Chris said that he sees Tammy hop into the Uber. So I am no longer bougie for expecting Uber to be in the town.
Hold on, I'm coming. Hold
The
on.
Omaha Northeast Zoo
I'm
has the
coming.
giraffes inside a building, and the urine smell slapped me. Oh,
What happened?
no, I was reading Marsha E's comment about the Omaha Northeast Zoo and the draft enclosure.
Oh my God, that would be horrible.
Oh, Party Rock, thank you for joining us for a little bit.
Have fun. My dad used to take
And,
us to the Philadelphia Zoo at least every other month when we were growing up. I used to take, see, it's like a tradition.
mm,
But when I went, so the last time I was in DC, we all went to the zoo. Marcus, his family, Brian, his family, my ex-husband. Um, yeah. And he want to walk with me. And I'm like, could you go walk up there with your grandkids? Because I don't want people thinking we together. And then every picture we were taking, he always standing next to me. I'm like, wait a minute. And I was so mad. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I still have those pictures and I look at him like, why is he standing next to me? Why is he standing next to me? But it was so much fun to be at the watch. But then you've got to pay to park at the Washington National Zoo now. It's what it's called, Washington National
mhm.
Zoo. You have to pay to park and then you pay to get in. I said, wait a minute. Why don't we just pay to get in? Why are we paying to park? If you don't find parking on the street, which is very hard to do because you're in it's not Bethesda. It's forgot. It's Silver Spring. And it's
Mhm.
the cars are lined up and down the street. And if you can't find a parking spot on the street, you have to pull in and pay to park. And then
Mhm.
you pay to go into the zoo. I'm like, Jesus Christ. We never paid to park. We always just paid to go into the zoo. And what was it the last time? I think it was 1750 for adults, and I'm sure it's more than that now. And kids under
Mhm.
4 got in free. I have to go look and see what it is now. But it's so much fun when you have the whole family together. And then Nathan used to like to go to the amusement park. And we used to, when I was in Virginia, so we used to go to William, what is it, Busch Gardens all the time. And I would have fun for a bit. And then if I have my friends and their kids, they know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go into Bush thing. I'm gonna do the wine tasting as they're riding, not wine, the beer tasting because it's hot as shit, and they're riding all the rides. Okay, y'all know where to find me at. I'm gonna be in the enclosed air conditioning building right over here. Y'all go ride, have fun. And then we used to go to Six Flags in San Antonio. Jesus, I tell you, they like to go to the
Mhm.
hottest part of it. But we used to try to get there early in the morning. But it's fun. But I always wind up with all the stuffed animals. I remember one time I rented a stroller just to put the stuffed animals in because I was carrying all this shit. And when they got off the ride, Brian, he goes, "What is that?" I said, "Look, y'all winning all this shit. Nobody's carrying it. My hold this, my hold this. I got a stroller." See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going into the air conditioning building. Y'all have fun. Go splash water. Go ride the rides. I'm being over here. I'm going to be tasting, and it used to be able to taste all the beers. And then it got to the point where it limits you. You can only do tasting like you can only have 3 tastings every 2 hours. So unless you brought somebody in there with you that was able to get tickets, so I would bring a couple of friends with me that didn't drink so they can get tickets too. Debbie, look, there's always a way around every damn thing.
Mhm.
And then that one year I went with Nathan to the Enchanted Forest in Maryland. Oh my God. I took off from work that day and rode the bus. Well, One time I drove behind the bus. The second time, I think the next year, I rode the bus with all these yelling ass little kids. I said, never. No, first time I rode the bus. The second time I drove behind the bus. I said, never again would I ride a bus with a bunch of damn screaming kids. Can't do it. I'm chaperoning, but I'm going to be in my car. I'll chaperone when we get there. Yep, in the AC. I'm telling you, it's hot as shit. The germs feeding the animals scare me, so I'm not interested or would I bring children. I just like to watch it. See, that's me. I like to watch and see the animals. I don't want to feed shit. Nothing. I never even fed my grandpa's chickens or his rabbits or his cow. Nothing. I used to watch. That's all I did was watch. Okay. Anything else about that episode, Debbie?
Oh crap! I missed Missy Elliott at Coachella yesterday. I gotta find that.
It's on
No,
YouTube.
yeah, that's what I mean. I was gonna watch it live yesterday and completely forgot. Um, no, I mean it just seems like same old shit with a little bit of courtroom drama thrown in. Everybody wishing for one surgery or another. Um, I,
Good
well,
morning,
welcome to season
Watcher.
7.
Good morning, Frank.
Mm.
Girl, girl. I'm just they had my sister's supposed to be filming the Easter parade today in the French Quarter. I really, you know what I miss? Now you see, if I was in Houston, I'd have been on the road. I would have been in New Orleans Saturday morning. I would be at the Easter parade in the French Quarter, and I'm getting on the road around 6:30 in the evening, heading back to Texas. Or maybe I'll leave Monday morning. It depends if I took Monday off. That's what I miss so much about being in Texas and not being able just to jump in my car and jump on the road and go to New Orleans, like for Jazz Fest and stuff like that. That was, my sister goes, so and so. I'm like, okay, okay, yep. So that's what I miss. That's what I really miss. Once again, Amy is too big. Yes, Brittany's house was too much lettering on the walls. Can't stand that style. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm just like, so is there anything? Not the only one I like out of them is not Amanda. What's her name?
Misty.
Misty. I like Misty.
Mm-hmm. And Chris was right. The only reason why she came over there because she got a free meal.
Yep, she got free food because she tries to stay away from them. But the funniest part was when they asked them if Amanda and Amy doesn't work out, can Amanda come there? And they both said nope. Brittany
But
and
did you
Chris.
see Brittany's face?
Yep.
The
It was bad
reaction,
enough
the
that she had
expression.
Tammy there
She
with her
still
nasty
has Tammy there.
attitude.
She's right next door. You can smell her.
Hmm. And Tammy said she was getting blamed for stuff at Chris and Brittany's house. Why is she saying that this season? She didn't say it last season.
I just find her to be so ungrateful.
She is
So
ungrateful.
ungrateful.
I will tell her bowling. If you can get a fucking Uber to go visit your woman to go bowling, you can go bowling. You can do this, but you can't come. See, that's what I don't like about her. She wants to do, and then she says no one takes her feelings into consideration. No, you didn't try to get your ass up there and try to have some fun. But I remember when they went to the pool and she was complaining about getting in the pool and doing exercises then as well.
She only wants to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. If it's anybody else's idea, she has to be the spoke in the wheel. And it's been done. It's boring at this point.
Yep, it is. All right. I'm trying to see to make sure I catch your 98. Okay. So Debbie, we
Hmm.
have 90 Day
Yeah.
Fiance.
Hmm.
Talk about your boy look. Talk about your boy Sarper. I need to go and drain my noodles.
Sarper, like bless his little heart, his little immigrant heart. He's trying his best to be a normal, rational human being. He tried to be considerate in meeting this young lady for the first time so he can make a good impression. He's also not a fool because he knows that it's an uphill battle. I think too much pressure is on him because he is what he is. Um, he sets up, I think it was smart that he set up doing an activity instead of sitting down for a meal where they would have to talk and he would run the risk of speaking and putting his foot in his mouth. Um, I did like the idea of whale watching, but they had to
That was
pick the
a rough
worst day of the
ride.
year.
Yeah, that was a rough ride. He got sick.
But was it that rough though? Because I didn't see
Yes,
it
it
being
was
that
rough.
rough.
I've
I don't know.
never
They
ever
told us
even
it was rough, but I didn't see it being that rough.
now the only time I've had a rough ride like that is when I took the speedboat in Florida. We were down there and we were
Mhm.
and it wasn't well, I forgot what it was we were watching. But we were in that fast turbo boat and it was hitting the waves, but
Uh
that's not
huh.
that type of boat.
No, no, that's a single hull boat. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It was a good idea for him to take him there. The young lady seems like she has a good head on her shoulders.
Yes.
She's taking her time. She recognized that he was taking accountability for his bad behavior before. You know,
Yep. But
I
she needs
mean,
more
it's a good
time.
start.
Yep, but she said that she see he's made changes. She said he respects her
Mm-hmm.
mom and the way he talks to her. Um she said
Mm-hmm.
that something about she said something about communication is not always, because he's, I guess she really can't understand him sometimes, but she says she's not willing just to jump in, and I thought that was a good idea.
Well, it is the first time, supposedly, that she's meeting him. So she made a good call in saying, I've got to get to know him better.
Yep, but she brought up her aunt and said that she thinks that he needs to have a conversation with her aunt, and she feels he owes her, but he did take responsibility for it. But she
And she
feels that,
acknowledged that. She
yep,
acknowledged that he didn't shy away from it and he took
yep,
accountability for his behavior.
yep. So she wants them to be able to talk, and I think that's a good idea. But I don't know how that's going to go. But he has made a lot of changes, though, because you like Sarper from the beginning. I didn't. I didn't. But he has grown on me. He
Hmm.
has really grown on me. I did not like Sarper, but I see him now, and I see the changes he's made. And Shekinah, I still can't stand, and I'm still gonna call her Shanae. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't. So, what do we think about? And I'm sorry, Lexi's not here, but she'll be here tomorrow. So we
Hmm.
can do tonight's episode. What do you think about Mina and Mark? When here, here's my thing. When
Hmm.
Mark took Mina to this place that he knew his ex-girlfriend's friend
Hmm.
owned, or whatever it was, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Um, Not really, because he needs all the help that he can get to build his story outside of him and his disgusting family. Um, Here's the thing though. After that meeting, he said in the car that what's her name? Diana? Diana
Diana.
is the girl? Right.
Diana. That's her
That
name,
she
right?
was married to his good friend
Yep.
Philip.
Yep.
Was married to his good friend Philip.
Yep. And Diana introduced him to his ex. What's her name? Jasmine?
Jade.
Jade.
Because that's
Jade.
her best friend. Jade
Yep.
is Diana's good best friend.
And they
Here's
do
the
look
thing though.
alike. They do
Huh?
look alike, except for Mina's is darker.
Right. But here's the thing. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think Mark has a thing for Diana, but won't make the move on her because Philip is probably still his very good friend.
And did you see how they told? Hi, Joe Black. Did you Happy Easter? Did you see how she told Mark that she think that he needs to take Maria out because she was touching everything and running around.
Yes. She was like, don't break anything in this store.
Yep,
Thank you.
because Daddy gonna pay for it. But
Mm-hmm.
you think that he has a thing for Diana?
Yeah. I think she's the blueprint for him in all of his swirl explorations.
Yeah, because he liked the swirl, don't he?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still trying to figure out, maybe you can help me. How did the conversation of Jade come up?
Diana felt it was her business to let this girl know everything and then gonna come and tell us in a confessional that she thought that Mark had told Mina everything.
That's a lie.
And she
That's a
knew
lie.
she tested the waters when Mark was there by bringing up the BMW. And
Oh,
he
the
said, don't
BMW.
go,
How
don't
he
go
bought her
saying
for his
stuff
daughter
like
and then
that.
Jade?
So Diana knew that Mark, she knows that Mark is a liar, one, because he was cheating on Jade. He was lying. So two, she also knows, well, she suspected that he did not tell Mina everything about her good friend, right? So then she tested the waters with the BMW thing and saw Mina's expression and saw Mark saying, stop talking about that. Don't tell her about that. So then she knew that Mark was lying to Mina. So she's fraudulent. She's a messy bitch, and we like her. Heidi, did you go to get coffee again?
No, I'm here. Nope. But when she started telling her about, okay, I get that. But when she started talking about them living together,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the look on Mina's face told her everything. She should have just stopped it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, it was like, why bring up if he hadn't talked to her about everything about Jade, and then she's saying they used to live together, but she refused to move to New Hampshire, and Mina said, "My house in New Hampshire." That's what she said. She goes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
she refused to do that, but they lived together there. And then she found out that Jade had a son as well.
Mm-hmm.
But she said that Mark was, what did she say? His phone was connected to the iPad,
Yeah.
and he was cheating the whole time they were together. So
Yes.
that's putting doubts in Mina's head.
And also, if she could clear out Mina, it could keep the opportunity open for Jade. Because what if Jade really wants him back?
Mm.
And she put her good friend to go up there and tell this girl all of that foolishness.
But what did you think about uh, the fact that Mina went out to meet Jade? Mark wasn't too happy. Oh, but when Mina made the comment, she goes, a BMW, she goes, well, I'm going for the Mercedes. Girl, I was rolling.
Somebody mentioned a Maserati too. I was like, get it.
Get it, girl. But she wants to meet with Jade, and that outfit she had on was gorgeous.
Yeah, she
She
looks
does have
beautiful.
some nice things in that store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looked
That outfit
beautiful. She
was
combed out the
gorgeous.
wig. She looked good. She looked her best to go and meet the competition.
Yep. And that woman got a big old booty. Did you see that big old booty when she was walking?
No, no.
Jade has a big old ass, girl.
Oh,
I'm trying to see what
well,
everybody's saying here. Jade got a car. You get a child in a home. What you jealous for? See, Wendy said Mina needs to worry about the son that she abandoned. She didn't abandon her son, but I know she's not a oh God, that that really hurts me. She's not a Jasmine. Jasmine abandoned her goddamn kids.
we don't
Um.
know that.
Okay. All right. What about? Marty and Stevie.
Okay. This is where the dad took him to the monster truck
Yeah, went to the
rally.
monster truck show.
I thought that that was nice. I thought that her dad is very well meaning.
Yes.
Um,
Hi, Glenn Craig. Happy Easter. All right,
I
Debbie, go ahead. I got to
feel
grab
like
this off the stove.
I feel like everybody is trying to give Madi like subliminal messages about Stevie, and that's very interesting to me. I think they're trying their level best to make him seem like the bad guy, but unfortunately, I agree with Lexi. Like, I feel like she's gonna work out to be the bad person in all of this, just by her behavior. Um, I don't know. I feel bad for him. I also feel like he has an agreement with her so that he's paying her to marry him. He's paying for his own visa applications. This isn't your regular um, situation where the American is paying for everything, because he is concerned about the increase in the visa application and she could care less. But yet she had to have her two best friends help her pay for her ticket to go over to Turkey to see him. It's not making sense to me. Not making sense to me. Um, but we shall see. We shall see. Who's this for?
No, but you remember we were talking about the fact that when
Mhm.
Marty said that it was getting expensive for him to get his papers, and we said last week that that he's the one that's going to be paying for it. So she went to Turkey with her friend's help. How much you want to bet they paid for all of it?
Of course they did. Of course they did. I, oh God, this is so messy. This is just so messy.
So then
But
she said that
I,
she's getting cold feet too. Why is she getting cold feet?
that's a very good question.
I think she
But
is bisexual.
I'm wondering if the final payment for doing this hasn't cleared from his family, and that's why she's behaving like a donkey's backside.
But Debbie, when he asked her dad's
Mhm.
blessings for the marriage, and to be honest, I kind of got confused on what the dad really fucking said.
That's what I was saying. I feel like a lot of people are giving subliminal messages to Marty regarding Stevie, and that Lexi is right. She's going to be the reason why the relationship doesn't work.
Okay. So I saw he had the little ring, but we saw next week when this woman says that she painted Stevie nude. Did you see the look on Marty's face?
Well, he's been suspecting it. I don't think he bargained for that when he met her as an English teacher online, and she's from a conservative state. I thought in my mind, I thought he was picking someone who would be compliant and who would work within the parameters of their relationship. However, if this is the case and it gets back to his family, it could be embarrassing. So I kind of feel bad for him.
Okay, Debbie, let's be honest here. His English is better than Stevie's
She
English.
she's
Come on.
ruining his English. You heard what he said. I'm fitting to ask her to marry me.
Yeah, I'm fitting to act, girl. What
Oh,
he said, I'm fitting to ask him that. Wait a minute. I'm about to. He said I'm fixing to. I'm fixing
I
to.
think,
I'm
yeah,
like, wait a
something
minute,
like
what?
that. I'm just like, are you serious? She's ruining his language.
What? What about Joan and Greg, girl?
Okay. Joan, Joan and Greg. Greg is a waste of time. Greg is a waste of time. Joan, why didn't you do your homework? And if you did do your homework and you came over here to this bum, I'm done with you. Until you pick back up and go back home, I'm done with you. Um, if she continues on with him, that tells me she knew that he was a bum before she left Uganda. And now I'm calling into question who she was in Uganda to be putting up with this.
But did you see the look on her face when she told him if he doesn't get this job, they're done? And she told him so something, but she hoped he doesn't screw it up.
Again, she knows who she came over here to. By that statement alone,
But
she knew.
yeah, but then she gave him 2 weeks, and then he says, "No, that's not." She goes, "Okay, a month then, girl."
But he needs somebody to put that fire under his ass because his mother has never been doing it. His mother has enabled him to be a bum. And he thought that he was going to bring Joan over here and turn Joan into his mother and have Joan working for him. You heard what he said a couple weeks ago. Well, we'll just have to do this until she gets a job.
Yep.
What about you getting a job? How are these people
That's
applying
not
for
going.
visas with no jobs? This is not making sense to me anymore. You have to have a job because you have to be responsible for these people for 10 years. What job does he have that he was able to get a visa approved for her to come over?
I think his mother must have signed, but I think Drea said that you only have to make like 20,000 or something. That doesn't make sense a year because you can't afford to take care of yourself. I forgot how much. Uh, forgot how much Drea said that you, in order for you to qualify to bring somebody here or to sponsor somebody.
But even so,
I
she
swore
only
she said
drives
20. I'm like,
Uber.
that can't be right.
She only drives Uber like a few days, if that much a week. That's not a full time job for her. And she's a woman of a certain age.
Yep. I don't know, but she's not playing with him at all. And I'm seeing a Joan come out that I said, "Oh, I like you," because she's not gonna put up with no bullshit. But see, he didn't tell her he turned that job down, that other state job that he's now applying for another one until she got here. He didn't tell
But
her.
here's the thing though, when you turn down one state job,
You're not going to get
it's in the
another.
system. It's in the system that it might be a different department, but it's in the system. If he gets this job, it'll be a miracle. It will be a miracle, but he needs to get work. This is not funny anymore. He's a grown ass man bringing over a woman who
Yep.
he expects to marry and take responsibility for. This tells me that he has no idea what it is to be in a relationship and to start a family or nothing like that. He is too comfortable up underneath his mother's petticoats, period.
Yep. Hold on a second. Mr. Jimenez. Tina is dealing with, she's doing good. She's got family stuff that's going on right now, but she will be back. Trust and believe me, she will be back. Yep, that's what, but I will let her know. I'm going to send her a message in a few minutes
Mhm.
anyway. I will let her know that you're asking about her, okay? But I will send her a message in a few because I need to wish her and her grandkids a happy Easter. So I will definitely let her know that you asked about her, okay? I will let her know.
Aw.
Okay. All right. So, all right,
Mhm.
Debbie. Who else did we have?
Mm, Sarper, Mina, Joan. Oh, we have the thruple this week, isn't it? Wasn't the thruple
Yep.
on?
Yep. Oh yeah, they were. Um, Hi T Love. She was she's still in her phase where she feels that she's being hidden.
She need to shut up. So sick of her.
Oh, uh yeah, but she's still trying to pressure her to talk to her family. And they want to make sure that she is giving them, because they've sacrificed so much for her, which I don't know what the fuck they sacrificed besides leaving their kids at home and going out, and being sex tourists. I mean, that's the only thing I
Me
can think
too.
of.
Me too. Because when she said that, I was like, sacrifice what? Sacrifice what? But anyway.
Yeah. So, and then we had, oh, Aaliyah and Sean was on this week as well.
Oh, yes, they were. They were. Um,
Yeah, Amani, thank you. Look what Wendy said. Look what Wendy said.
wants to be worshipped. Yep. Everything has to be circled around her, whenever she's like asking the husband, like, well, what do you think? It's only so that he could speak up on behalf of her. She needs to be in the middle of everything. So I don't know. That's not going to work. Mm. But they are trying. I don't like how they went out for breakfast to go and talk about that girl and then bring her back food. Leave her in the room by herself. The, if you,
Yeah, but
if
she
they're in
said
a throuple,
she
don't you think that the three of them should have went out to or sat down there and discussed what the issue was? Um, I don't blame this girl for not trusting them. I really don't.
Yeah, but Debbie, she said that she wasn't hungry. Remember, she said she wasn't hungry.
Well, then they should have sat down and talked over everything before going out for food. I don't trust them. But then we gonna see next week that this girl is running game too. Love it. I love it.
Okay, hold on. I have to turn this off, Debbie. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I, I'm trying to do three things at once. But I got it. All right, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's off. Okay, everything's off. But remember, she said that she wasn't hungry and for them to go, but they did bring her food back.
Yeah, they did. But my thing is, I don't know. I I don't trust the Californian couple. The wife has a lot of control issues. The husband
Yes,
is
she does.
looking shadier and shadier to me with each week that passes by.
See, I think there's something else besides having a
Hmm.
throuple. I think they want her to come to be a nanny and a maid to their child too,
Yeah, yeah.
especially after what the other nanny said. Remember?
Oh, yeah. That said that she was treated like a slave and that they didn't love their children and all of that. Mm.
So if she feels that way, now we see
Mhm.
how they're treating Ani, you know. And that woman said that they haven't given her a penny. She takes care of her own family.
But we find out this week though that they have been giving her money through this dude. I wonder if that's a pimp.
See, that's what I'm waiting to see. But her name isn't really
It's
Ani.
Brenda.
It's Barbara. Brenda. Brenda.
Uh-huh.
Mm, okay. We'll see. Now we have Aaliyah and Greg. I mean Aaliyah and Sean.
Hmm.
Could somebody explain to me where did Aaliyah get this friend Jackie from?
From down in the Amazon, remember she oh, you didn't watch the first season. Um
No.
when they was down
That's
in
why I'm asking.
Brazil, they met okay, the explanation was that she's a friend of Aaliyah's. Aaliyah met her while she was traveling in South America or some foolishness like that, and she came on and
Okay.
aggravated the snot out of everybody.
Because I'm like, wait a minute, where did Aaliyah get a friend
Mm-hmm.
from?
Yeah, no, we've seen her before because actually I made a comment saying I can't wait till she come back because she was a big, well, I said that sarcastically because I don't personally like her. She asked a lot of questions that were inappropriate to
Yep, she
Sean.
asked about their sex life, everything.
Right, she did that the first time we met her, and I thought it was inappropriate. But she's back again. I guess she needs a check, or what's her name needs a mouthpiece.
Okay.
Aaliyah, because she's just asking all the questions that Aaliyah is too scared to ask.
So she was asking Aaliyah. Aaliyah was saying that she wanted to get breast surgery, which was a good question. How do you think Sean is going to feel about that? Because again, you were a boy, a
Mm-hmm.
man, when he met you.
Mm.
And then she said that something about she can't, and she doesn't know how much more Sean is going to uh, be able to handle. So you know that you're pushing the buttons, right?
Yeah, she knows. But I think that's her storyline this season is to see how far she can push Sean.
But again, Sean hasn't told his family, well, his kids, and we still haven't seen her have a talk with his mom yet. But the mom knows all about Aaliyah, but we haven't seen mom and Aaliyah on camera together.
I think that his mom and Aaliyah have spoken because she really does like her. Remember when he had the lunch
Oh
with
yeah,
his
but I'm
mom?
talking as far as in person. Remember how Sean had
Right.
lunch with his
No,
mother?
no. I right. No, I agree with you. They haven't met in person, but I think they've met on video chat before. So
Yeah,
because there was a familiarity there with his mom.
yeah, because she said that his mom and her used to talk all the time, and his mom said
Hmm.
the same thing. But how are you
Hmm.
planning a wedding and you're not telling your kids?
Well,
We
that
have
part
mine on
is
wedding
tricky.
dresses.
Yeah, that part is a little tricky.
Well, no, let me say something. She went trying a wedding dress. Am
Hmm.
I getting that confused when she was in Brazil?
She never
Because she
tried on a
brought her
wedding
dress
dress
with
in
because she
Brazil.
brought her dress with her.
I don't know. Maybe it was
She
cheaper
brought
than.
her dress when Sean picked her up at the airport. He goes,
Hmm.
"Is that what I think it is?" She goes, "Yes, it's my dress, and you can't see it."
Hmm. So maybe she had a seamstress down there that knew how to fit her body because she doesn't have an easy figure. So she
Nope. And
needs
then,
a skillful seamstress.
yep. And then when Jackie was asking them about the wedding plans,
Hmm.
Sean said his dream thing would for them just to live together. But because of he keeps saying it, because of the K1 visa,
Hmm.
they have to get married. Sean doesn't want to get married.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Black Cat, thank you. Happy Easter.
And
Thank you.
he's never been shy about that. He's always been open and honest. He has been married before. He would rather not do it again. And even in this episode, he said we tried all the visas. She didn't
Yep.
get through any of them. Now, if she was really a nurse, she would have gotten a visa. But
That's
she's
what I
not
was
a
gonna say. He said she was a nurse. I'm like, when did
she's
she
not a
become a
nurse.
nurse?
She's not a nurse. She ain't never been a nurse. I mean, she might know a lot of nurses since she take a HIV test every week, but she's not a nurse.
And if she was a nurse, she would know that you're not going to just get HIV like this and all these germs. Black Hat, how's your mom doing? Yep, Sean just wants an arrangement to help her, but Aaliyah needs to get with the program.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
I just can't because I'm this relationship is someone. How is she still here?
You broke up a little bit there. Could you repeat the question for me,
I
please?
said, if I'm not mistaken, from all the previews, it looks like Aaliyah stood him up at the altar, but she's still here.
Because they eventually get married. You know they will.
Yep, and I think that Sean is her sponsor and he's helping to support her.
Hmm.
And I think they still have this open relationship because Sean doesn't want to be in a relationship with a woman. He wants a man.
And quite honestly, she should acquiesce to his request for an open relationship, and here's why. He's doing her a huge favor by bringing her here and marrying her so that she has the opportunity to live a better life here, because
Yep.
obviously she doesn't want to be in Brazil. She wants to be here. She wants to become an influencer. So he's giving her that opportunity. And then on top of that, you met him as Douglas, but then you have decided to change to Aaliyah. Now, because of this, it isn't what he originally signed up for. He signed up for Douglas. So you could compromise and allow him to have his open relationship. And that way, you get the best of all worlds. You really do. Because you have to understand what compromise is, and start doing it. It's not all about you, Aaliyah.
It's not
Sorry.
all about her, but she's still in West Hollywood.
And that's where she should be, because that's where the action's at. That's where she'll get all of her dreams to come true.
Mm-hmm.
And all of y'all will be following her influences online. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Anything else?
Mm, no, not that I can think of. Was anybody else on the show this week?
No, I think we got them all.
Okay.
Because we didn't see Juan and Jessica at all.
Thank God.
Now, I was understanding that Mark had a criminal history, the one with Mina.
How can he have a criminal history and he's flying so many like important
That's
people?
what I want to know.
Interesting. Very interesting.
He had a DWI once before. It's not. But how do you have a DWI
Hmm.
when you're a pilot? But it happened, I think, in the '80s, way back when. So they went digging, girl.
Wow.
They went all the way back digging. Hi, Aesops. Okay, so let me see. Somebody said she was Heidi. You're breaking up in and out.
That was, yeah, that's when I asked you to repeat the question. There's a little delay in the
Okay. Well, I
in
don't know
the
what,
chat.
but I thought I fixed my mic.
Hmm.
But anyway, that is ooh, That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last resort isn't really worth talking about until this next episode, the last one, which will happen on Monday, and then I'll combine both of them because it's not worth it. Who are
Someone
these in
told me
part?
that there's going to be 5 episodes for the tell all for them.
I thought it was four,
Oh.
but we found out this tell all that Natalie was threatening his wife, Josh's wife.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Well,
telling
are we
people
surprised? Natalie's a little
telling
cuckoo
people
for
that
Cocoa
Josh is abusive, all
Josh.
because he
Josh.
doesn't want to be with her anymore. We found out that Benny was being blackmailed,
Oof.
and and Mom took care of it. We found out that he and Ari will not get divorced. This works for them. Um, we found out that Ari really doesn't like Brandon's wife Julia, and she called her out. Um, we found out that Florian may or may not cheat on Stacy. Stacy's not happy because she's getting older and she doesn't want
Mm-hmm.
Florian talking to any women and going out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Georgie says that he's not going to cheat, but he does have a tendency of going out and having fun with girls. Rob told Florian that he needs to show Stacy the same respect that that he was showing to Dorsey. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she was still complaining about his phone not being able to track him when she had had her surgery and they were out partying. And then Georgie said, that's because Stacy doesn't know how to work the phone. And so they asked if Stacy was to track him. He was like, hey, and Florian said, hey, I don't know how to work this thing. I just answer the phone. Hello, that's it. She's the one put this stuff on here. So you've got
Oh
to
my
track your
goodness.
husband. Why?
Oh
Why are you
my.
tracking your husband?
They are so ridiculous.
So Biniam said he cheated, what, at least 3 or 4 times? But he said he cheated. She said he cheated when she was pregnant. Girl, he didn't know you were pregnant, if I'm not mistaken. You moved there because you were pregnant. Biniam was seeing that other woman. Why do you want to rewrite history?
I think that's why her mother likes him so much because she knows that everything that Ari says is not consistent. She
Biniam was
knows
in
her
a
daughter.
full ass relation where he was seeing somebody when he met you. So you were the side piece.
But she was only passing through Ethiopia. He was like a 1 or 2 night stand. Remember, she was doing her like writing something or whatever, and she was trying to figure out who she was after she broke up with the first husband.
She was cheating on her husband, sleeping with Benny.
No, they had separated. Remember?
Okay, they still want divorce.
Right. But she was trying to figure herself out and find her head or some shit like that she was doing while she was in Ethiopia. And she hooked
So,
up with Biniam.
yep, and
She met him on the street. His dreadlocks was
his
cute.
dreadlocks turned her on. So then, um, Ari was going through his phone and shit. She saw a message from some woman saying, I love you. I'm like, why are you going through this man's stuff?
Because she want to be disappointed.
And then the woman that was trying to blackmail him, I like Ariel's mother. At first, I didn't like her, but she puts the truth where it's at. And when she got up and hugged Biniam and said, I will always love you, I will always be here for you, she meant exactly what she said. Because Ari had ran off to Ethiopia and Benny was living in the apartment in Vegas, in his huge ass apartment, with his mother in law.
Yep.
But they were trying to get money out of Biniam. But the mother-in-law said that at some point he's going to have to figure things out, but he's too easily influenced and taken advantage of. So he is a little naive, he's a little naive when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
So, and then Florian was upset because he said Benny wasn't his friend because he was dancing with his wife. And guess what Stacy gets up and do? Goes
And
over
then
and gets Benny to dance with.
yeah. Well, she's an attention whore, just like her sister, but to a lesser degree.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see what else happened. Um, Julia and Ari were going at it, but Ari, I've always said she always got the victim mentality, but she called out um Rob but you notice that none of the guys were calling out what the other guys did wrong, except for when Rob was telling Florian. Other than that, these guys had each other's backs, and that's
Oh
some
yeah,
shit.
they came in with a plan.
And when Josh told him that Rob told him that it's time to get away from Natalie, he said, "Come on, man." He said, it's just trying to get away from her because he was sleeping with her, but he knew there was no future.
Yep, he was using her.
Yeah, but not Rob. Josh says that she was sending him provocative pictures and telling him to come F her.
Well, again, she can send you all she wants. That doesn't mean you have to go and do it too. That's my problem with him. He knows that that girl. He sat up there, called her like all of the bad things in the world. Said everything that she did. All of coming after his ex-wife. Saying that he was a bad father and had an ex-con living in the house, which was a danger to his daughter. All of these
Which
things
was a
before you
lie.
can go and fuck her.
And she called his ex-wife a hooker.
Exactly. You're going to sit up there and you're going to tell everything on this girl, but yet you're still having sex with her. That makes no sense. And that makes me look at you really differently. Because you can't come up here and call this girl out and yet you still having relationships with her.
Well, he
You're
said
no
they haven't
better than
slept
she
together in
is.
months.
Hmm?
He said they haven't slept together in months.
But they were sleeping together, and that's the point. They were sleeping together. After they broke up on thing, he
Yep, he was
still went
using
back
her.
and was still sleeping with her, and that is wrong.
He was using her. She was using him.
Mm-hmm.
But but it was a good. I mean, it was honestly a good tell-all.
Mm-hmm.
But when he said that he can't have Natalie in his life because she's disruptive, and I was like, but you steady, as you said, sleep with her,
Mm-hmm.
giving her false hope that one day maybe you guys can be together.
Yep.
And
And he
he
knows
said
that that
that,
girl is not stable.
yep, he said that Natalie was a threat to his relationship with his kid's mom, and he
Mm-hmm.
can't have that. Now, if she sleeps with him after this show, which no,
Mm-hmm.
because he's with Jen now, but she would be an
Mm-hmm.
asshole. He just put you all on Front Street.
Exactly.
We know you crazy. He just confirmed it.
But honestly, if he gets the opportunity to sleep with her, he
He
will
will.
sleep with her because
Yep.
he's a pig.
Yep, he will. He will. But when he called her a liar and a scam artist, what do you think
Mm-hmm.
he meant by that?
Um, Quite honestly, it's the truth.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
the truth.
has she done something to him?
Um, I feel that he has gotten to know her very well because in my opinion, he's a con man, just like how she is.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting tonight. Um, it'll be really interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do a morning live tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff I want to discuss, but I have a 10 o'clock appointment. Um, I don't know. It depends if I get up early or not. Debbie, are we going to do a live Monday night?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Okay. So we'll do a live Monday night. I maybe go live Monday morning, tomorrow morning, depends on what time I get up and what's going on. But is there, guys, I hope you have a happy Easter. I'm looking at the time. I know you guys, some guy, it's 12:30. You guys are getting ready for Easter lunch, Easter dinner, Easter festivities with the family. I don't want to hold you anymore. I want to say happy Easter. Debbie and I both want to say happy Easter. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your family or whatever you're doing. Have a great day. And thank you for joining us and participating in the chat. Yes, T Love, they are both crazy. I really enjoyed seeing each and every one of you this morning, and have a great and safe Easter Sunday. Appreciate all of you guys. Debbie, anything you want to say before I get us out of here?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody. I see you, Chantel, a hood rat. I'm going to go check it out. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And thank you, Black Cat, for the super chat. Thank you. Love you too, ASOPs. Thank you, guys. Have a happy Easter, guys. Uh, Wait a minute. T Love says she wanted to control him. One thing about African men you can't control. Stay still. Yep, you're right. Ari wanted to control him. You're right about that. You're absolutely right. Thank you, guys. Bye.